Hey, what's going on, man? It's Rob Peterson.
James Moton.
We here, man, GA Lee. Listen, I'm getting everybody ready. June 4th. It's the GA Championship game at Rowan University. What time?
7 o'clock. Let me tell you something.
Talk about it.
You better be there because there's going to be so many things going down. I can't give you all the information. There's going to be a couple people that y'all know about.
That's right.
In the NFL, college, they're going to be there to support y'all because guess what? Y'all the future. So be there, baby. Rowan University. 7 p.m.
It's going down.
June 4th.
It's going down. June 4th. Turn me up, baby.
Turn me up.
Turn me up. Turn me up, baby.
Go.
Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Mark Tribble. I'm out here on the football field on Friday night in South Jersey. There's only one place I like to be at more, the South Jersey Football Frenzy Show, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Facebook.com/AC Glory Days.
Ready to go. Coming to you from Rowan University here in Glassboro, New Jersey. Hello, everybody. Presenting to you this evening the 2022 Gridiron Access League Championship game between the New Jersey Red Devils and the Academy Gladiators, which is going to be an outstanding matchup to say the least. Glad you're with us today on a beautiful Saturday night here in Glassboro. I'm Tom Wilkins along with Terrence D. Fisher, who's joining me today, and of course Howard Gaber taking care of the controls. And Terrence, obviously, you know a lot about these two teams, and as a matter of fact, they met earlier on in the season, but now this is the final exam for both. What do you expect from them?
I expect a real tough, hard-fought game, and these two teams know each other very well. When they faced off the first time, it was a fog. When they faced off the first time, it was a fog that actually went over the football field. That gave you very little sight across the field and everything. These two teams fought through that, and Gladiators was able to pull out the win.
Well, since then, how have you seen both of these teams improve to get to this particular point?
Well, both of these teams have just stuck to their guns, and they just stuck to what they do best, and that is hard-nosed football. Play a tight formation for the Red Devils, and the GA Gladiators likes to open it up, spread the field out, and go with what they know also.
And I think, too, when you see two different styles of play, you know you're going to have a little bit of a chess match again with these people. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Gridiron Access, Terrence, explain a little bit as to how this all unfolds with the people who participate.
Well, with the Gridiron Access, what they do is they aim to get these 8th graders notification throughout the state and the surrounding areas. So moving forward into high school, they could maybe meet new opportunities and expand their game, and so they could go ahead and excel in the sport of football.
And obviously, to many of these kids, football is their life, and they really put their heart and soul into it. And for many, as they grow, I mean, they play for the love of the game, and some of them are lucky enough to go on to even bigger and better things. But I would have to say, with these two teams meeting up here, I would expect this to be a little bit of a surprising game. I don't expect it to be really low scoring, but I think we could see a couple of surprises on both sides of the football today. Wouldn't you think?
Well, yeah, we could definitely see some surprises, but also the people around the area know exactly what they're going to get from these two teams. You know, you have Messiah. I call him the Messiah for the GA Gladiators. He's the bread and butter. They're going to go to him early and often. And then you have Peterson for the Red Devils. They're going to play a tight formation, and they're going to go to him early and often. And then both of these defenses is going to play really tough defense. So any surprises would definitely be a surprise to the fans.
Well, let's also not forget, I mean, these are kids, you're talking 8th graders who are still learning about the game of football as it is. And I've always said on my broadcast that basically football and life are really parallel to one another if you think about it. So sometimes it isn't about winning and losing. It's about trying to get through the challenges and battles, because there's no way you can go through every game winning 105-0 and just coast through life. There's no such thing. There's always going to be obstacles in the way, and this is where the coaching staffs from both sides teach the kids as to how to handle that adversity, whether it be in life or in a real game situation. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree with that. And trust me, I've been on the coaching side of these youth football games, and during practice and during games, you always mention the life learning things during the course of the season.
Well, just to let you know, we had the coin toss earlier before we jumped on the air here. The captains for both teams, first for the New Jersey Red Devils, they are number 2, Julian Peterson, known as Flash, number 6, Jalen Parker, known as Savage, number 12, Ivan Muhammad, also known as Primetime, and number 1, Naeem Pressberry, also known as Beast Mode. So obviously a little bit of Marshawn Lynch within him, and also Jacob Hand, also known as the Hammer, was also one of the captains there too. For the Academy Gladiators, their captains are number 3, Bryce Carter, also known as Big Head, number 0, Ash Roberts, number 2, Messiah Acri, number 11, Mikey Mullen, and number 18, Eric Smith. Now, when you watch the game as it unfolds, you'll see that the Academy Gladiators, they'll be in the white uniforms with black helmets and black numerals, and basically on white every place else. They'll have also black shoulders as part of the uniform. As for the New Jersey Red Devils, they're actually going to be in their black uniforms. As a matter, they're also going to be in black helmets as well with red numerals and basically black top to bottom. Now, right now, they're huddling right outside the football area before they come charging onto the field, which I guess is a rite of passage, Terrence, in regards to what these kids do. It's like basically that's your introduction you're being taught, right?
Yes, this is the championship game of a long, hard-fought season, and these kids, they work so hard, and they deserve this type of entrance onto the field. Each and every kid, from the kid that's out there for every single play, every down, to the kid that's working hard in practice, doesn't see much playing time, they all deserve this type of entrance, this type of field, this type of atmosphere, and this is what you work so hard for.
And it looks like we're going to have a pretty nice crowd on hand. And just to let you know, we're at Rowan University at the Rowan University Stadium, and I believe Stephen Walker is here at the Stephen Walker Fieldhouse here at the football field of Rowan University. Of course, the home of the Rowan Props, who, by the way, is the alma mater of Howard Gaber, of course, doing the controls when it was called Glassboro State. I think it changed over to Rowan shortly thereafter, but we have the alumni working this broadcast today. And now the red smoke comes from the Devils huddle, and in just a moment they'll be flocking onto the field. And we've seen this many times with these kids. They bring out the smoke as they get onto the field. Now, I don't know exactly what entails with it, but I guess it's called fun. Well, whatever the case, they're just getting themselves all fired up as the red and white smoke, and I would have to say they're Devils colors, as the players are about to take the field momentarily. Now, meanwhile, for the Academy Gladiators, they're going to be welcomed by, it looks like, a cheerleading squad and a mini drum line to go along. I don't think I've seen that before, but that's rather creative on both sides. I mean, have you seen other things that have been similar to that?
Well, no. This is really original from the GA Gladiators on a youth level to have any resemblance of a band, a marching band with a cheerleading corps, and you have your drum line, which is really big amongst colleges. And GA Gladiators, they brought that out. They brought that out at their first meeting against the Red Devils, and it was really a surprise shocker to the fans and the team as well. And the smoke is to symbolize they giving out all the smoke.
Here come the Devils now. I guess the smoke is cleared.
Yeah, if you asked them for all the smoke, man, they giving all the smoke out. So that means they're fired up, and whatever you ask them for, we're going to give it to you.
Well, meanwhile, as far as the Academy Gladiators are concerned, they'll be in the white uniforms, and they're actually out of view from our press box angle. But needless to say, they're at the very far right bottom of the track and field area. But you see the cheerleaders there on the right side. You'll see the Academy Gladiators coming through any minute now. Needless to say, the cheerleading crew does their dance. The drum line should be doing some percussion momentarily. And in just a second, we'll see the Gladiators take the field. The Red Devils are already lined up. Now, as you can see, they'll be approaching from right to left on your screen. Here they come, the Academy Gladiators. And they're going 2 by 2, like almost as if it were a mini army regiment or something. And now the coach says, get on the field. So here they come now. No smoke. I mean, hey, the Devils, they use smoke. The Gladiators, they use their drum line and their dance crew. And now both teams meet up. And I guess it's like, okay, good luck to each other by yelling at different, communication skills. I mean, but but I guess it's obvious they could also be going over the rules of the contest. Now, Terrence, any insights to how this game is played on this level from a rules perspective, like the basics?
It's just like the high school rules. It's just like the high school rules. You get 4 downs to make 10 yards, and you get the first down. And all the special teams is being played out. You have your kickoff, kick return, punt return. You have your extra point try after the touchdown. And you get 2 points. You get 2 points for your extra point try if you run it in or pass it in at this level. Some youth levels, you get 1 point because it's easier to run in or pass in, than kicking the ball. So, but on this level right here, this is exactly preparing these kids for the next level of high school. So you're going to get 2 points for that. The overtime rules are like the college rules or the high school rules. Each team gets the ball from the 25-yard line in an overtime situation, and you get the chance to go ahead in for a score.
And, of course, we will get more into that should it come to that particular situation. I understand there is going to be a play clock being used as well, which on both sides of the Rowan campus, the Rowan scoreboard, there's a 25-second play clock, and that's something you really don't see very many places. Now, in Division III schools, I think they need to have that, of course, because of the NCAA, but it's something you don't normally see necessarily on the high school level or necessarily with Gridiron Access, so that's a little bit of a nuance to watch out for.
Well, you actually do have a play clock always on the field for any football game, whether it be youth level or high school or the NFL. The referee normally keeps the play clock on the field as he counts down, and he gives off a hand motion to let them know we're inside 10 seconds or 5 seconds. So you very rarely see it on the scoreboard, though.
And that's also critical to note here. So, in essence, if you're talking high school rules, that'd be 12-minute quarters, if I'm not mistaken. Or 10, I beg your pardon, because varsity would be 12 minutes. More JV would be 10 minutes in that particular case. But yeah, they just set to 10 minutes just to make sure here. But needless to say, we're going to be ready in just a couple minutes for the Red Devils and the Gladiators, the Gridiron Access League Championship here from Rowan University. If you get an opportunity, if you're in the area and you get a chance to come out, please. It was a beautiful night. Kickoff temperature looks to be 79 degrees, and we are looking for a no-problem zone type weather evening of some football with some very spirited players and 2 teams that I think are going to go all out to take home the trophy, as they say. We have some late arrivals coming, but we do have a nice crowd on both sides here from the home side where we're broadcasting from, and even the visiting side is starting to fill up a little bit too. So, and I think a lot of people are coming to the home side to get out of the sun too. So I'll tell you what. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got a little miscommunicative here. So, but needless to say, we got a few other things that'll be coming up, of course. We're hoping for some special events for halftime and possibly, and I say possibly, some special guests to come through during today's contest. So, are you ready for this one?
I'm ready. I've been ready all week long. And, as I sit at home and I think about the season of the GA Spring League and how grinding it is and how tough of football games that's being played each and every week in the GA League. These teams really deserve the shot here today to win that trophy. And you've seen the trophy sitting at the 50-yard line, nice and pretty. No one could just run up and grab it. You got to work hard for that.
Except for the owner who took it to make sure it wasn't in play right at the midfield stripe. That would be a little troublesome, wouldn't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to be taking the trophy and run for 15 yards and you fall on it and you're like, oh, no, and wind's knocked out of you. It's like, this is harder than a football. So, but in any case, so we are going to we're going to break momentarily But when we do start the national anthem, please note that for YouTube purposes, the national anthem they play is copyrighted. So very sadly, we cannot broadcast it. So we appreciate your understanding with that. So we'll just go to a couple commercials while Phil's in. No, we're not backstabbing, but that's the rules of how YouTube works it when it comes to the national anthem, which will come up momentarily, and we'll just fade away for a second. But I'm looking forward to this, and I really do believe that we're going to have a close game on our hands. Wouldn't you think?
Yes, we're going to have a close game on our hands, and I'm looking forward to this game. The fans are starting to filter in, and
well, who would you think would come through here?
Well, honestly, I'm going to go with the GA Gladiators. I mean, they won the last game, and I don't think that they showed everything that they could do in that game. I think they're going to open it up a little bit more. I think they're going to come out with the win.
I might just go against you and go with the Red Devils just to be fun. But, remember, one bounce of the ball could really turn the game and momentum around, and that's something we're going to be watching with these kids here. So definitely looking forward to that. And, by the way, just so you know, the Gladiators are led by head coach Tyke Carter, while the Red Devils are led by head coach Rick Eli. We also have assistant coaches Peyton Atkins, Kerry Brown, Nikki Nelson, Darius Harrison, Jai Peterson, and James Roberts. Isaac Redmond takes care of the media, and Yaslin Eli takes care of the water. It's even listed on the thing here. So, by the way, it is the Conglomerate Performance Squad that's down on the field here. So, all right, so while we go ahead and pause for a moment, the Red Devils and Gladiators coming up here on the HSG Network Gridiron Access League Championship right after this.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Rob Peterson.
James Moton.
We here, man, GA, Lee. Listen, I'm getting everybody ready June 4th. It's the GA Championship game at Rowan University. What time?
7 o'clock. Let me tell you something.
Talk about it.
You better be there because there's going to be so many things going down. I can't give you all the information. There's going to be a couple people that y'all know about.
That's right.
In the NFL, college, they're going to be there to support y'all because guess what? Y'all the future. So be there, baby. Rowan University. 7 p.m.
It's going down.
June
it's
4th.
Going down. June 4th. Turn me up, baby.
Turn me up.
Turn me up. Turn me up, baby.
Go.
Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
All right, we're back here at Rowan University. That last commercial, by the way, is one of our sponsors for today's contest, the West Jersey Football Association, which is sponsoring the Bash at the Beach. And Bash at the Beach 2, I understand. Well, they hope to make an impact in a variety of ways, as in better recognition of players in the area and working with the West Jersey Football League Executive Committee on future scheduling. They were created as a means to better the game and give the area's student athletes the best opportunities possible. It'll be held at Ocean City High School, Battle of the Beach 2, August 26th through 28th, again at Ocean City High School. And again, it's the West Jersey Football Coaches Association sponsoring the Battle of the Beach 2, late August. Make sure you put that on your calendar. All right, I'm back here, of course, so we have, to get my papers together, Terrence D. Fisher with me, Howard Gaber doing the controls, about ready to kick off action between the Red Devils and Gladiators. And needless to say, these Gladiators are looking very fired up here.
They're looking very fired up, and, they play the national anthem, and the national anthem is the calm before the storm. I mean, you sit there and you wait for the national anthem to be played, and all sorts of thoughts is going through your mind of your gameplay, and then you got the jitters going through your body, and those jitters don't go away until you see that first hit, until you get that first hit going. And these guys, both teams, is psyched up and ready.
Well, I'll put it this way. You can take a moment, obviously, to use that moment to be thankful that you're in this situation. And then those jitters. What's that? And, Speaking of jitters, I looked like the Red Devils were going to be going left to right, but now looks like we're going to reverse gears, and they'll go right to left. It will be the Gladiators that'll move left to right, and we'll switch sides during the second quarter. As Terrence mentioned, 10-minute quarters, literally played like normal football, and obviously if we get to extra time, we will definitely break things down to you. So I see a good one coming, and for these kids, the moment of truth has come. I mean, this is not just New Jersey, but keep in mind, other places, other states, I don't know if they have similar things to this leading into high schools, whether it be for Texas, California, Florida, what have you. I'm sure they have places like almost similar, but I'm almost certain this is probably almost on par. So, and if you're watching from any of those areas, hey, glad you're joining us today for the Gridiron Access Championship, which is underway with a directional kick taken at the 43-yard line and reversing direction, trying to get the yardage back and a little bit to the 48-yard line. So that was Muhammad who returned it for the Red Devils and gets it to about the 47. So he ran about 25 yards to gain 4 on the return.
Yeah, well, what the GA Gladiators, what they tried to do, they tried to get an onside kick going, and that was pretty much a perfect onside kick. You want the ball to dribble along the ground and then bounce up in the air, but Ibn was there to receive that kick and take it to the other side of the field. That was a good try by GA, and here it is.
And sometimes it's a little bit of strategy that can play a long way, especially from the very first kick. All right, so the Red Devils start 1st and 10, ball on the 47-yard line. And they're going full house, and unfortunately somebody intruded the house and flags are down. And it's going to be a neutral zone infraction against the Gladiators, so just like that, 1st and 5 for the Red Devils. And put it this way, Terrence, the jitters are happening as we speak.
Hey, the jitters are happening, and I'm telling you, it don't go away till that first hit, man. And it was a couple hits on that kickoff, but now they're really lined up and getting ready to go.
I think it's usually one offensive and one defensive series, even if it's just one set of downs, and then they slowly start to get out of your system. All right, they'll full house this again, and another penalty flag down, and this time it looks like we're going to have a false start against the Red Devils, so looks like we can cancel out the first 2 plays just like that. So again, jitters.
Well, you have 6 referees out here, and these guys don't mind throwing these flags. I mean, they don't have them for no reason. They are going to throw these flags, but the players, they got to show focus. That's simple and plain. They got to show focus.
And I think that's so important, especially in a game like this. It's their final exam. So you know that you have to treat the referees as if they're the teachers. And they're the ones that are going to say, okay, we're gonna call this game pretty tight here, so you better be on your mark here. All right, so let's try this again. 1st and 10. Here's a handoff running into his own man and slipping off a tackle, getting to about the 49-yard line. Presbury with the carry. So he ends up picking up a yard, and it looked like there was a big rush. Ash Roberts for the Gladiators made the stop, but you can see there was like that forward defensive front that the Gladiators showed very early.
Yeah, there was someone that came off the left side of that defense. Someone that came off the left side of that defense that met him in the backfield. Presbury kept his feet going, and he was able to get 1 yard out of that. So they're going to have to try to seal up that right side of the offense.
So it's second. They're going to give him 2 on the play. So 2nd and 8 from the 49-yard line. They full house again. And an inside handoff, and the Gladiators are ready. Only a yard on the play. So this time, Jaden Green with the carry for a yard, forces a 3rd and 7. So what do you think the Red Devils are going to pull off here for this 3rd and 7 play?
I think they're going to stick with their guns, and I think they're going to continue to run the ball out of this full house backfield. This GA defense is tough. They are tough, and they're coming for you off of the edges. Number 45, Wynn, he's going to definitely play his part. Looks like he might be coming out the game right now, but maybe to get a faster pass rusher in there. But this guy is really on it. He's on the ball.
The official timeout for just a second, making sure the substitutions are good. By the way, there is not a 12th man on the field behind the Red Devil offense. It's just a photographer taking a shot from basically behind the line of scrimmage, getting the bird's eye view on the ground. As the Red Devils try to get their personnel on the field, 3rd and 7 from the midfield stripe. This will be a pitch out, and this is Peterson. Peterson has room to run, and he is close to a first down depending on the spot. Initially looks like he's going to be about 2 yards short, but he gains 5. But that was actually a pretty creative call by the Red Devils, but the Gladiators' speed closed in and forced him to be 2 yards short. So now the question here is, what do you do on 4th down?
Well, seems like lately the teams leave their punter at home. I mean, the punter doesn't even make the trip a lot of times. And that last play right there, you had Peterson hitting the edge, and Red Devils did a good job of sealing that edge over there.
Well, his is interesting. It was a quarterback keeper, and it surprised everybody from the Gladiators. And did they fumble the football? It ends up being a fumble, and it's recovered by the Gladiators. No, it's first down, because it looked like one of the officials was pointing the opposite direction, making it look like it was a fumble. So instead, it's 4th and 4, and they end up 4th and 3, and they get up 4 yards on the play. So good call by the Red Devils. They keep the ball, and they get a first down.
Yes, that was a very good call. It caught caught GA off balance, and a quick snap and a quick go, and then you could pick up 3 or 4 yards just like that.
Well, that's why they do the full house backfield, because you just don't know which back is going to get it or if the quarterback's going to keep it. So that's a 1 in 4 chance of who's going to advance the ball. And now the Gladiators might have jumped offside on that play. Now, remember, they play high school rules, so if you jump, you can't get back. So it's an encroachment foul against the Gladiators, and it's a 1st and 5 again for the Red Devils.
Well, the Red Devils is going to take advantage of this all game long. If the GA continues to jump off sides and not show discipline, then why not? The Red Devils will run the ball down your throat, and they will get you tired. So once you start getting tired, you start losing focus and discipline. And
that allows the Devils to have some big gains, especially on the ground. And that especially could be a big factor the later we get in this game, but we'll see. All right, on 1st and 5, here's a handoff. That's Presbury, and the Gladiators are waiting for him. That's going to be a loss on the play. And the Gladiators do the penetration, was going to be on the left-hand side, and they caught it beautifully. So it looked like Namir Tucker and Ruffin were able to make the stop there.
Well, that was a good bounce back off the penalty for the GA Gladiators. But what the Red Devils did right there, they tried to give the ball to Presbury to try to keep GA on their toes, to let them know, like, look, we have other guys that can carry this ball too. And we are going to use all of our weapons this evening.
All right, so a loss of 2 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 7. Ball at the 38-yard line. And we will see how this all plays out. Back to pass, and going deep right side, double coverage, and it's knocked away, incomplete. That wasn't a bad idea. But, it was Parker who threw the pass, but ends up going incomplete, and I think the Gladiators smelled that coming too.
They smelled that coming, and that's very not characteristic of the Red Devils. They normally stick to their running game plan, but they are going to use all their weapons this evening, and I just mentioned that, and they went right to another one of their weapons. But the GA Gladiators have pretty decent pass coverage defense as well as run defense, and they was there waiting for it.
And the Red Devils, they were thinking catch him by surprise, but the Gladiators, they were up to the task there. So 3rd and 7 from the 38-yard line. Jalen Parker is going to keep the ball. There's a flag down on the play and gets to about the 34. Let's see what the penalty is. It was thrown literally right away, but it's an illegal shift foul against the Red Devils. So the question is, penalize the 5 yards or refuse the penalty?
Yeah, well, it looks like they're going to take the 5 yards.
Yeah, it's going to force a 3rd and 12 in that case.
Yeah, they're going to take the 5 yards, and you can't have two guys moving at the same time.
And that's correct. That's what an illegal shift is. You can't have two at the same time. They have to set for 1 second, and of course they did not do so. So that's why the 5-yard penalty. So now, with Jalen Parker, a quarterback for the Devils, would you expect them to pull off a hard count if they haven't done so already? Because they've drawn the Gladiators offside twice.
Well, the hard count is definitely coming, if not already. The hard count or the count on 2 is definitely coming. You see they went on a quick snap. They also switched up running backs in different positions in the backfield. And, the hard count is coming, because GA is still not settled in yet, and, it's no matter how much you say coaches scream, watch the ball, watch the ball, watch the ball, you can still get somebody with the hard count. So it's coming.
And by the way, the Red Devils have used their first time out. They want to discuss this 3rd and 11 play. Just a quick note, we want to definitely thank some people in regards to contributing to today's game. First of all, Rowan alumni Andrew Yezi, who's a sponsor and creator for today's championship trophy, which you'll see at the end. Also, Rho Delta Sigma chapter of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. And, of course, they are a proud sponsor of the Gridiron Access League Championship. The Brothers Sigma, active partners with all of Gloucester County, including Rowan, as they continue to promote brotherhood, scholarship, and service throughout the surrounding community. They also host an online gas card raffle on their website. You can visit GloucesterCountySigmas.org. Again, GloucesterCountySigmas.org. And we'll mention others as we go along as the Red Devils come back onto the field. 3rd and 11. They're going to spot the ball at the 42-yard line. This time they changed it up, 3 wide slot left, and they have Parker in a shotgun with a back to his right. Let's see what they do. Back to pass. They're coming, and they got him easily. I mean, there was nobody stopping. There was nobody stopping the defense there. They called that beautifully.
Wow.
And the one who led the sack, Eric Smith.
Eric Smith on the sack. And, once you spread out, you have less blockers inside the box. And if you're not getting that ball out quick enough, or if you're just not, standing up to the blocking assignments, that's exactly what's going to happen. Eric Smith took advantage of the spread, and he got back there and took him down.
Well, you say leave the punter at home. I'd be calling him from home and try and get like a 30 yards downfield and work field position. But instead, they're going to do a 4th and long, like a 4th and 20 from their own 48-yard line. Here's Parker back. Rush coming. Deep ball left side. And it's caught at the 20-yard line. A tremendous catch along the left sideline on a 4th down. That's Ivan Muhammad, who guns it down for 32 yards. I mean, that ball had some hang time. Muhammad adjusted his route and came down with a fantastic catch. We got to see this on replay, Terrence, and you describe what happened here.
Let's take another look at it.
Well, we'll get...
And here you have Ibn.
Actually, we'll show it to you after this next play. But again... sometimes it's a matter of trying to find a thing. So here we go, 1st and 10 for the Red Devils. Here's a handoff and sneaking up the middle for about maybe 3 to the 17-yard line. Peterson with a carry. Maybe we can go back and show that 4th down. Yeah, 4th and 20.
4th and 20. 4th and 20, you have Ibn lined up at the furthest wide to the left out here. And there's a one-on-one coverage out here. And the quarterback is simply going to put it out there, and it's a jump ball for the ball. And he comes up, the jockeying in for position for this ball is unmatched by anybody, the receiver and the defender going for that ball. Ibn came up with it.
2nd and 3, and here's an inside. It's a keeper this time by Jalen Parker, and he'll get inside the 15-yard line. So I'll force a 3rd and 5. So we talked about surprises at the beginning of the broadcast, and there's your first one, converting on 4th and 20.
Yeah, I told you they leave their punters at home, and they go for what they know. That's another weapon that the Red Devils has, Ibn Muhammad, and he showed you why he's put out there spread wide so he could go up there and get that ball on a jump ball.
No, I wouldn't be surprised they try and switch the formation around and move Muhammad around to make some of the catches, so that the Gladiators will have to kind of be on point and spot where is he on the field.
Right, and exactly. And you have Roberts covering him.
Oh, we got a flag down. And this could be a critical call here with the ball being at the Gladiator 15-yard line. Oh, and it's on the Gladiators. So that could be a first down for the Red Devils, and depending on where it's spotted, and yes, it is, it will be first and goal. It'll be right at the 10-yard line, so it is going to be goal to go in this case.
First and goal for the Red Devils. First and goal for the Red Devils, and they are smelling the end zone right now, and they're going to go back tight. They're going to go back tight, and they're going to give Peterson the ball, I believe.
Well, let's see if your call is correct on first and goal at the 10-yard line. But with this full house backfield, you just don't know which guy's going to be carrying the ball. So they go out of that 3-receiver set, and they go back to full house. They actually might be doing extra lineman here. Here's a handoff around the left side. Oh, good trip up and tackled about the 9-yard line. And it was Ash Roberts tackling Brian De La Cruz, who, if he stayed on his feet, he might have had a shot to score.
Yes, he had nothing but green in front of him outside of that tackle, but the guy made a short tackle, and he wasn't able to keep his feet to keep moving into the end zone.
So it's only a 1-yard pickup to the 9-yard line, and that's where it will be second and goal. Opening drive of this game, it's taken up the whole quarter so far. And we'll see how they line up again. And this time they go to a true full house with Parker under center. And they're going to hand it off. Blast up the middle. Inside the 5 to the 3, Julian Peterson. Maybe have gotten to 2-yard line. So I'll tell you what, the offensive line firing at precisely the right instant. That's helping Peterson get that yardage and getting closer to the goal to the end zone.
Yes, and let me tell you, this is an exact replica of the first matchup of these two. The Red Devils drove down inside of the red zone in the goal line area, and GA came up with the stop. So let's see what happens here.
Well, will lightning strike twice here? Quick count on third and goal, and sneaking in. No, I looked like it was a handoff, but instead, well, hey, the full house will fool you every single time. And again, it's Peterson they focused on, but this time the Gladiators are ready for it, and they stop him right back at the 5-yard line. So the clock runs down, and we'll hit quarter time with it being fourth and goal from the 5-yard line. So let's take a break. We're at quarter time. The Red Devils nothing. Gladiators haven't gotten the ball yet, but we'll have the second quarter coming up after this. All right, we're back here at Rowan University. The commercial you saw with Golden Jean Apparel. Golden Jean's an organization focused on making an impact in the mentally disabled community through artistic expression. Golden Jean believes that empowering them to express their passions through art, they can think bigger than what they see and achieve more than what they believe. It's ultimately striving to become better citizens. And Golden Jean Apparel, of course, the official apparel of Gridiron Access. As we're about to start quarter number 2 of this Gridiron Access League Championship, the entire first quarter, the New Jersey Red Devils held on to the ball, but now it is fourth and goal from just inside the 5-yard line. By the way, the characters involved, I'm Tom Wilkins, along with Terrence D. Fisher, and of course, Rowan grad Howard Gaver. He's doing the controls. Of course, his days were in Glassboro State, like my days were in Trenton State College, but hey, it goes without saying. But anyway, and hey, those two teams had some good football matches, especially in the 90s when I was growing up.
Oh yeah, I went to Burlington Township High School, class of '93. We had a top quarterback in the Burlington County area, Tony Catani, which he wound up coming to this university right here. So
here's that fourth down play, and there's an opening, and unfortunately, so wide open was Yashon Cosby, but unfortunately Parker couldn't see it, and it's again thrown down for a huge loss, and deja vu has happened, as you said it, Terrence. The New Jersey Red Devils turn it over on downs. Describe for me, Terrence, what happened on that fourth down play.
Well, what do you know? You got number 45, Jamal Wynn, once again doing his job, and he comes up and make the big-time sack. And he's on the sideline right here. Jamal Wynn, this is the guy that leads this defense. He comes in here and he's ready to work. Last time I spoke to him, he said, "Big Fish, you got me." I said, "I got you." And that was a big stop for the GA Gladiators, and luckily they did get the sack for a loss of yardage. So they didn't start so deep into their own territory because that ball was down around the around the 4-yard line.
Yeah, right inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, so they didn't start so deep into their own territory where their backs and stuff would be in their end zone. So good stop for the GA Gladiators.
Incidentally, one of the Gladiators was shaking up Namir Tucker. He did get a little assistance off. Looks like he'll be okay, but it looked like he was holding his right ankle as he was coming off the field. But now, after basically 10 minutes and 6 seconds that the Red Devils had the football, it is the Academy Gladiators' turn to have their first go at it, second play actually of the second quarter. So we'll see how they line up. And as you had talked about, Terrence, that they do kind of like to spread it out, and we'll see what they decide to do here.
Yep, they automatically go to the spread, and they got the pistol formation going on, and with the single setback.
Well, they're going to do a quick handoff and finding through a couple of tackles to about the 12-yard line. Messiah Acri was the one that brought the ball through, but gets a 2-yard gain and forces a 2nd and 8. And what can you say about this Devils defense? They look to be quick on the ball, too.
Well, this Devils defense is led by Presbury, Naeem Presbury, number 1. He's going to be standing up at the linebacker position, and then sometimes they will put him down in the dirt down there at the nose guard position. That's his true original position, the nose guard position. The guy is so athletic, and he's so hungry. He gets to the ball regardless of who's in his way.
In between split backs, now they send a man in motion, and they blow the play dead. So flags are down yet again. A false start going to be called against the Gladiators, and it looked like somebody from the line just jumped a hair early, and the officials have good eyesight, especially in a championship game like this. They will get you for that, and it forces a 5-yard penalty. So now 2nd and 13 from the 7, and Terrence, I think at this point for the Gladiators, you want to get out of harm's way, but the more important thing, ball security. You don't want to make a mistake deep in your own territory.
Yes, Tom. The thing is with the GA Gladiators, and it kind of gets me worried a little bit, is they have the tendency to get in their own way with the penalties, with the misalignments and their formations and stuff like that. If these guys could get those things on a consistent basis going good, it could really spell trouble for their opponent.
Well, let's see what they do on 2nd and 12. The ball be spotted at the 8-yard line. A delay, no, it's a keeper. And the quarterback nowhere to go. In fact, lost a couple of yards. They're going to spot the 6, a 2-yard loss. And right now, it looks like it's going to be a defensive struggle.
Yes, both of these teams has done their work. They've done their homework and studying film and all of that good stuff all throughout the week. I've seen Rick Eli. He was at the last game. Playoff game of the NJ Storm and the GA Gladiators. He was there with his tablet, recording and everything. So he's done his homework. And also Tyke Carter, he's done his homework too. So both defenses is really doing their job off of the homework of the coaches.
Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go at least 4 receivers here on this 3rd and 14 from their own 6-yard line. This is a handoff and trying to get inside and only about a yard. Acrea again with a carry, but not for much. So that's going to be 4th and 4th and long, and now I think you better call your punter for field position in this case. Now, if they don't have a punter, I mean, have the quarterback just do a little pooch punt possibly. I mean, wouldn't that be a good idea? I mean, you're thinking field position.
Yeah, they really do need to go ahead and punt. You don't want to be stuck down here in your own territory deep. The thing about GA stopping Red Devils is they was down in their own territory. But now, if they give up the ball here, the Red Devils will have 4 fresh downs in the red zone.
Well, the special teams can't make a mistake for the Red Devils, so it's a high snap, and they get it off. And it's a very short punt. It will, and it even takes a Devils bounce going out of bounds, probably about the 23-yard line. Might not have been much of a punt. However, it's a little bit better field position than trying to go for it and find yourself a goal to go. So for the Red Devils at this point, I think they have the momentum in this game because, remember, they took the whole first quarter and one play in the second quarter for their opening drive, and now your defense just had a 3 and out, and now you're on the field again.
Yes, they had a 3 and out, and the Red Devils is working with very, very good field position. And, the coaches these days, they have to really work with these punters and their kickers and everything to get some good punts going on. I know this is the youth level, but at the 8th grade level, you should be able to punt at least 30 to 40 yards on a consistent basis.
Well, now timeout can be called by the Red Devils. That'll be their second one, so we'll keep it right here. You may have noticed one of the replay sponsors is Landmark Americana, which, of course, it's actually not, I beg your pardon, it's Mike Daniels, and he's actually the replay sponsor. I'll give you a little rundown on him. Mike Daniels, he was selected by the Green Bay Packers in the 4th round of the 2012 NFL Draft out of the University of Iowa, which, of course, is one of the Big Ten schools. At Iowa, he was an all-Big Ten performer that caught the eye of the NFL due to his quickness off the ball and his ability to understand offensive blocking schemes. Of course, Penn State had Micah Parsons a couple years back, but like him, he was a game record during his college football career. Now, with the Packers, he was ranked as one of the top 100 players by his NFL peers 3 times. He was named to the Pro the Detroit Lions the next year, and since found a home with the Cincinnati Bengals, where he and his family have been since 2020. One thing Mike does is that he has a passion for developing like-minded players that are motivated to achieve more. And we'll deal with a little more stuff on this after we get a couple more plays in. Red Devils 1st and 10 to 23. And here's a handoff and exploding up the middle inside the 15-9 Presbury. He found a hole and he just darted through. And he got the 10 yards needed for a 1st down.
Right, and what you had there is you have your guard and your tackle. They're going to seal off. They're going to kind of put their butts in the hole, and so that first back through can immediately get through that hole. That's why you give it to the first back through sometimes. It's a quicker hitting play, and it could be more successful.
Well, let's see if they do it with somebody else as they go a little harder inside the 10 and down to maybe the 8, possibly the 7-yard line. And that worked out pretty nicely because that's another 6-yard gain. So 16 yards in 2 plays, not bad. You're sniffing the end zone again.
Yeah, the Red Devils, they're probably going to work this inside. They're going to work this middle. The GA is starting to send in number 90, Cameron Green. They're going to send him in for some more stability right there in that front. And he goes right to the side where they ran with Presbury on the first play.
Well, let's keep an eye on him as we have 2nd and 4 from the 7-yard line. Again with a full house backfield, and unfortunately the defense decided not to with the offensive line players over. Oh, my goodness. So that's going to turn out, that's a half the distance penalty, and that should be 1st and goal from the 3.5-yard line because of encroachment. And especially when you want to try and stop the momentum, that is not the way you want to do it with the Red Devils, because now you're just giving them more firepower because they're now literally 10.5 feet to the end zone, and that's going to be a timeout called by the Gladiators. So why don't we do the same thing with just over 6 minutes till halftime? Red Devils and Gladiators, no score. We'll come back in just a moment. Okay, we are back here at Rowan University as the New Jersey Red Devils are knocking on the door. They got goal to go their last time out, but the Gladiators were able to stop them. Unfortunately, the Gladiators couldn't take advantage of the stop by going 3 and out. And here we are again, the other side of the field. First and goal for the Red Devils right inside the 4-yard line. I'm curious to see what the Gladiators call on this goal to go, as once again the full house is being established. They go with an inside handoff, pushing, and no signal. They're going to say the 1-yard line. And it was Parker who kept the ball. So what do you think the Gladiators have to do to make those adjustments? Because they're getting huge pushes on the offensive line right now.
Well, what they're going to do, they're just going to have to dig deep. Their guys up front are just going to have to play bigger than Red Devils guys up front. And they're just going to have to dig deep and burrow in there and try to take out the linemen so that the quarterback has nowhere to go.
All right, looks like it'll be a quick count on 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Is this a keeper? They push, and he is waiting for a signal. The keeper was by Parker, and it looks like he might be short by about a foot. Yes, 3rd and goal from the 1. The Red Devils are saying we got it, and the officials say, no, you don't got it. So the Gladiators make the stop. I'd say repeat the process until you cross the plane, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, you got to keep going with what you know. You kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't. You know, you can surprise them and run a little bootleg, because everybody's going to be packed in the middle right here and right now because they think that the quarterback sneak is coming. But you could go ahead and go for that push. Well,
you can push left and then naked bootleg right, and you can put a DoorDash order into the end zone. All right. Whoop. Oh, there was a lot of movement, but no flags were thrown, and I don't think he got in. He's a yard short. There was a lot of movement before the snap, but there were no flags thrown, so they played on, and again the Gladiators making a goal line stop. So here we go again, 4th and goal from the 1. So let's look at the replay, and let's take a quick look and see if there was movement before the snap. Now watch both sides. So before he took the snap, there was movement, but the official said play on, and that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah, there was definitely some shuffling of the feet inside of there, and you gotta stay tight, you gotta stay still, and but GA was able to make that push.
Momentum play here. 4th and goal from the 1. They pitch out, and he's going to have a wide open lane to dive into the end zone, but barely. So a huge run, and I think was that Parker, I believe? But, I mean, he looked like he was able to make without a problem. And at the last minute, a Gladiator came, and he's like, nope, I'm going to dive in.
Yeah, that was a great call by the coach to go ahead and try to hit that outside. And the defender was closing in, and the runner probably thought that he had a more open lane, easier shot to the end zone than he did. The defender was closing in pretty quick, and he went and dove in that end zone to make it happen. So that's 6-0 now for the Red Devils.
And taking advantage of excellent field position and having the ball quite a long time in this first half. I think those two things, I mean, you got to figure, remember, the Gladiators have only had the ball for 3 plays in this first half. That's it. Red Devils have had the ball the rest of the time. Now for the conversion. Handoff to they're going to go option, and it works. A pass into the end zone to Jaden Green for the 2-point conversion. Peterson with the pass. So the halfback option works to make it 8-0 Red Devils over the Gladiators. Let's first of all take a look at that touchdown on that 4th and goal play where you mentioned the defender closing very quickly. Describe this one. There it is.
Yeah, the runner started to slow up, thinking that it was no one there to come in for the tackle, and he started pulling up a little bit, but then he noticed the defender there at the last minute, so he had to go ahead and dive into that end zone as the defender cut out his legs from underneath of him.
He was lucky to get in because, I mean, as soon as you slow down, everything speeds up, and that's why you have to go hard and make sure you cross the plane and then you let up. Yes. Because he almost failed to get in. But lucky for him, he was able to do so barely. And then the halfback, and then if we take a look at the halfback option to Jaden Green, so that ends up being the score. And by the way, the replay presented by Mike Daniels. Of course, we mentioned him a good amount of time. And for all the replays, we have Mike Daniels sponsor it. And, of course, he for the defending AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals, who, of course, fell 3 points short to the Rams in the most recent Super Bowl. But hey, you never know. I mean, they got an up-and-coming team, and, hey, Super Bowl 57 right around the corner, and they could finally bring something home for the city. And looking forward to seeing that as football gets inches closer each day that goes by. I mean, after all, it's June the 4th, and training camp is what, a month and a half or so away?
A month and a half or so away, yeah.
I'm sure everybody's looking forward to that. Now, just remember that this is 8th grade football being played by high school rules. Now, there is a flag down the kickoff, and we'll see what this is all about here. And as far as the Gladiators are concerned, they'll have the ball. And they can run out the last 3:34 of the half knowing they'll get the ball to start the second half. So for the Devils, that's why this was such an important touchdown, because they may not be able to see the ball for a while. If the Gladiators play their cards right, it's a one-score game. They just have to make the 2-point conversion, and that is where you can level things out.
Yeah, going back to that 2-point conversion, we talk about surprises, and that was a surprise from that point right there on the field. You look at them to be deep in trouble as far as down in distance to pull that play out, but they pulled the play out right there, and it was successful.
All right, here is the kickoff return to 40-yard line after the Red Devils are offside a kickoff, bouncing off a couple players and going out of bounds at a midfield strike. Now, that is a hard run by, I believe it was David Queen, who was able to get it to near the midfield stripe. And now the Gladiators, they have 2 timeouts and 3:26 left till halftime to try and make some noise here. Why don't we look at the halfback option 2-point conversion here, because that I call surprise number 2 outside of the 4th and 20 in the opening drive of the game. Describe this one, Terrence. Actually, that was the play. Why don't we take a look and watch what happens?
Now you're going to toss the ball to Peterson, which is a key guy on the offense, and then he just pulls up and throws the pass to an open guy in the end zone. I mean, if your Peterson is working to the left and to the right, that play should be there all the time because you're going to come up.
Jaden Green was one who caught the conversion. So 1st and 10 from the midfield stripe. Looks like we're going to go to 4 receiver set, tripling the near side. Long call here. And, here's a bootleg that unfortunately the cast fell off as Bryce Carter gets thrown down for a big loss. Yashawn Cosby just slammed him down for a big loss on the play. And I'll tell you what, the Red Devils are firing on all cylinders on both sides of the ball at this point. Why don't we take a look at the replay? How did Cosby get so wide open here, and how was he able to, shall we say, disintegrate the play so easily?
Well, Cosby comes in and he meets the blocker right there. The blocker is in position to make a fantastic block, but he just fights through him. He beats it over with a swim move. The swim move is just ridiculous, and he comes in, and the quarterback was so shocked at how fast he was in his face, he didn't know what to do.
I think he was. I think the quarterback was more shocked of how hard he was thrown down while that was taking place. Ends up being a 10-yard loss, and now the Gladiators have 2nd and 20 as they reset the formation from their own 40-yard line. Carter awaits a snap. They're going to go at a handoff. Let's see if it gets him something there. There's a spin move. And trying to escape the tackle, not able to do that. There's Jaden Green taking down Ackery. So another loss on the play. And right now the Red Devils, they're really looking good here as we close in at the end of the first half.
Well, you see that play right there. And Messiah, he's really ready to get going. And he could change direction at the drop of a dime. But seems like the GA Gladiators are just not taking their blocking assignments serious right now. There's a lot of blown assignments. And the Red Devils are just eating right now. They're really eating right now.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. These assignments, you're talking a huge game. They can't be missing these assignments because one hungry team, you let things slip just a little bit. Here's your end result. You've had 14 yards that went 14 yards negative in the last 2 plays, and here Bryce Carter is faced with a 3rd and 24 with a flag being thrown down. And that might be too much time because the clocks are at 0, so that's another 5 yards backwards. So, Coach, how do you drop 3rd and 29 in this case, given the fact you're down 8-0 in the waning moments of the first half?
Well, 3rd and 29, you really just want a positive play. You really want a positive play to gain a nice amount of yardage. If you could get the first down, then that's fabulous. But right now you want to put your team in a better position on 4th down and at the same time give your team some momentum and confidence.
Well, Ty Carter is going to try and design something here. Keep in mind that the Gladiators have 2 timeouts left. They've opted not to use one here. The Red Devils have 1 to use if they wish, if they wanted to save time should they get the ball back before the end of the first half. So here's Carter on 3rd and 29 from their own 31-yard line. They sent a man in motion, back to pass, a late rush, deep throw down the sideline, but thrown out of bounds. They were trying to get Ash Roberts, but the throw was a bit offline. So it was a good try, though. They had the right idea, try and get a fly down the left side, and just was a little bit off.
Now, Ash Roberts is your guy. If you need a big pickup, he's your guy that you're going to go to in the air. And that ball was just simply thrown out of bounds. And you want to kind of do that. If you're a quarterback, you want to give your receiver the only chance to really catch the ball. So he put it out there, but he just put it a little too far out there. So now we're here at 4th and 29.
Well, I think the Gladiators coaching staff wanted to get an explanation. He was thinking there might have been like a defensive hold or something, but unfortunately for him, no flag was thrown. So, wouldn't be surprised if this is a field position punt. But right now, if you're the Gladiator defense, remember it's a 1-score game. They have one timeout left to use. So, as long as you can get a good punt and flip the field for field position, and now we have an official timeout here, so they're going to discuss things real quick. I was going to read the rest on Mike Daniels. So, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's tell you about Mark Tribal's Hats Off podcast. Now, about Mark Tribal, he came to South Jersey from his home state of Virginia in 2014 to cover high school sports. An award-winning journalist, he now exclusively covers football in his famous fedora. He hosts 2 weekly live shows on Facebook in the fall. They are the South Jersey Football Frenzy Show and Mark Tribal's Hats Off podcast. By the way, he's also president of the Touchdown Club of South Jersey. You can find him at the best. I'm sorry, I better pronounce it right. My apologies. You can find him at the best gridiron battles in the area on Friday nights and Saturday afternoons, and afterwards, he makes sure to listen for his game's best player. And, of course, you can follow his stuff at mtribal, Trible, that's MTRIBLE on Twitter. And, of course, you can download his podcast on Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure you subscribe as well, and they can check a lot of the stuff out. Of course, with high school football coming back real soon, I mean, it's only going to be, 2.5 months, and then we'll be back and going again. So...
Yeah, well, actually, you're probably going to have about a month to get ready. With this being June already, teams are going to start coming together and at least having captains practices and stuff like that for the high school. And then you'll go, for the youth, you'll go right into the mini camps and training camps and skills camps and stuff like that. So, it's right back in your face again.
Well, don't forget, of course, I did games last season in 2021. Hillsborough High School and the Raiders, of course, they won Group 5 championship with probably one of the most sensational seasons I have seen from any high school football team in the state of New Jersey. I mean, it was such a pleasure to broadcast them last season. Hopefully this year you'll be able to do it again. But we'll see. But then again, for all the other stuff that we do, and it may include some high school stuff, just visit HSG Network on YouTube. Feel free to subscribe to us in regards to some of the things that will be coming up in June, July, and, of course, the coming late summer and early fall ahead. Now, we have a personnel change going on. That's why we're still delayed here with 1:03 left till halftime. I'm curious to see what the Gladiators are going to do on this big situation. Now, I would think they would need to kick here, but it has to be better than the first punt they had early this quarter when they went 3 and out after the opening stop of the game.
Yes, they really want to pick up some yardage here if they're going to punt. Looks like they're sending in Bryce Carter with a play.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, after all, while we had the official break, the Red Devils were called for a 12-man penalty, so it's 4th and 24 because of it. And they're gonna take a chance at this, see if they can do what the Red Devils did in the opening quarter. It's going to be a sweep to the right. And swept down is Ash Roberts at the 35-yard line. So, for the Red Devils, they get the ball on downs after once again stopping the Gladiators, who have only run 7 plays in this first half, which is, I think, a bit of a surprise. But right now the official's saying 55 seconds left till halftime. And now they want the clock to run, so... But we'll get it all figured out. Anyway, for the Red Devils, they have 1 timeout left, and they have 35 yards to travel to try and extend their lead. They're saying it was 3rd down. I beg your pardon. So that was probably the delay earlier that we had no idea what was going on. So I think what the Gladiators are going to do is they're going to let the clock run down. And, I mean, and now, Terrence, as we wait for the clock to run here for the first half, what have you seen from both teams? I mean, what's your impression of how this first half has been?
Well, the first half has just been dominated by ball control of the Red Devils. And if the Red Devils can continue that, hold the ball for a whole 1 quarter, come on, man. There's no way they can lose this game. You know what I mean? Wow. But we have yet to see what the GA Gladiators can really do. And that's the thing that you still have to look forward to going to the second half. Are they going to get it together and really showcase their talents?
Well, we'll have to wait and see for that to happen. I really think the play of this first half was that 4th and 20 reception, which kept things going. And even though the Red Devils didn't score on that opening drive, they at least put it in good enough field position to get the ball back and then drive through to get their score and subsequent 2-point conversion. So if they didn't make that 4th and 20, this is a whole different game. So they are going to go for it with 13 seconds left. 4th and 25, it looks like. And they're going to throw a screen pass. Sneaking out is Ackrey. Ackrey is going to only make it to the line of scrimmage, and that's it, with 5 seconds left till halftime. So now it will be the Devils' ball. And I wouldn't be surprised if we throw a Hail Mary here. And they have 1 timeout left, so I wouldn't be surprised if they use it to design a play. Wouldn't you do that?
Do you know the name Ibn Muhammad?
Well, he was the one who caught that 35-yarder on 4th and 20, let's not forget.
I believe they're going to throw this ball up there to him, give him a chance to run up under and catch a jump ball out there. Because these guys are still hungry. I mean, they're not going to let no seconds tick off the clock without giving a shot at scoring a touchdown. So I believe they're going to spread Ibn out wide. Oh, no, actually they're going to have him tight to the line. But
actually, they may just go halftime formation here, and that's exactly what they do. So they said, never mind. We're not going to take a chance. And your first half thoughts as we have hit snack break here at Rowan.
My first half thoughts is GA got to get it together. GA has to get it together, give their guys a chance to play a good game of football. And the Red Devils, they got to keep doing what they're doing. Keep controlling the ball and keep playing hard-nosed defense.
Well, the only good thing is for the Gladiators, they're still only down 1 score. And that's the thing they got to remember. They can just drive down the field and get to 2, and we'll have it at a level score. But anyway, your halftime score, the Red Devils 8, the Gladiators nothing. Let's go ahead and do the special halftime with Mike Daniels.
Welcome back to Good Morning Football. Joining us now is one of our favorite guests, and I mean it. Heading into, I cannot believe this, his 10th season in the National Football League. He is a feared defensive dynamo, but he's also one of the most fun, personable, charming guys in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, Bengals D-tackle Mike.
Big morning.
Hey.
Thanks for having me, man. I wish I could be in the studio, but that's for next time. I see you guys got Tom in there. Like, it's a party. It's a party.
I know Tom Pelissero is here. We wish you were here, but we're so happy you're waking up with us. It's about that time in the season you come pay your family a bit of a visit, and we're so excited that you re-signed with the Bengals. This happened back in March. It's a nice, quick one-year deal. What made you want to return to Cincinnati instead of further testing free agency a little bit more?
Well, I really like Coach Zach Taylor, man. He does a great job taking care of his vets. He definitely respects his players, and as you get longer to get older in this thing, that's what you look for. You look for a guy who's going to pay that respect, who's going to make sure his guys taken care of, who's going to make sure he puts his guys in the best positions. And it's just up for us. It's up to us to really come through, man. He's a great coach. I have nothing but the best things to say about him. I really like the team. You know what I say about Joe Burrow, man. That's like baby Aaron, So I'm really looking forward to getting back with my guys here in a few days.
Okay, hold on for a second. Pump your brakes, fam. You mentioned Joe Burrow, and that's a perfect segue to my question. Now, he had an impressive rookie season. We know he had the injury, but let me forget all that. I'm not even going to read the teleprompter. You just said that Joe Burrow is a baby Aaron. Aaron as in Aaron Rodgers. Aaron as in what people say who could be one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Are you saying that?
You don't see many rookies step into a locker room and you could tell the guy's like you would think he's like a 4-year vet if you didn't know who he was. Mm-hmm. And to have that at the quarterback position, that means he has the right type of savvy, the right type of poise that you only see from guys like Aaron, man. And I've been saying this since I got there. I see a lot of similarities between the two, and I'm just excited to be able to be part of that, man. Like, the kid's got a lot to him. He's got a lot of upside. He's only going to get better. And you talk to Who Dey Nation, man, they're going to let you know. Joe Burrow is the savior, man. He really is to this organization. And, come on, man. The Bengals fans, they're the best. You may think that they're just going to speak up just for the sake of doing it, but let's be real. Let's just be honest. They haven't had a whole lot to root for, but yet they still show up. They're real fans. Ain't no bandwagon, because there was never a bandwagon. So that's why I love Who Dey Nation, man. And when you listen to them talk about Joe Burrow, it's only facts. It's only facts.
Right. Okay. I like that.
Me and the fans, we see things similarly, man.
Him weighs 2,000 pounds. All right, Mike, this is why we love you. We're glad that you mentioned Aaron Rodgers, because otherwise we have no reason to talk about him. But since you did, Mike, you were on the Green Bay Packers for 7 seasons, my friend. So everyone's got their thought. Everyone's got their take. What's going to happen with number 12 in Green Bay? What's yours? Aaron Rodgers, we have no idea what's going to happen. What do you think he's going to do?
Aaron, he's you never know what he's going to do, but I'll tell you this, he's a very smart guy. He's one of the smartest people I've really ever met, right? And I come from a family of lawyers, so he knows what he's doing. I trust whatever decisions he's making, man. And it is hard to play when all your friends are gone. It's hard to be somewhere when all your friends get shipped out. So we'll see what happens, man. But I know whenever Aaron, whatever he's planning on doing, he knows exactly what he's doing, man. He never does anything without fully thinking it through. He's very calculated. That's what makes him one of the greatest.
Mike, your gut feeling, does he show up for camp?
Ah, man. Aaron's a competitor. I think he will, because a guy like that, he just wants to continuously prove that he's the best. I mean, they drafted a guy at his position in the first round, then he turns around and gets the MVP. The dude's competitive. He's competitive.
I got you. Okay.
Mike, lest anybody get confused about what team you're on, let's go ahead. Yeah, there we go. Bengals logo back on the screen. Let's just make this very abundantly clear. You're headed to Cincinnati next week. Woo! Training camp getting going. Let's look ahead to this Bengals season. This week we talked about how the AFC North might be the best division in all of football. Can you tell us why the Bengals are built to go? Give it to me. Give me your best pitch. Why are the Bengals built to go from worst to first and make a run in 2021?
You're always going to have a lot of success when you have an Iowa guy on the offensive line and an Iowa guy on the defensive line. So they bought Riley Reef in, and so right there, to me, that's the key to the puzzle. Definitely the offensive line is healthier. We drafted some young guys. They're going to come in with some good fire. I really like the young guy, Chase, man. His locker's right next to mine, man. So I get a chance to talk to him every day, kind of impart some of that 10-year wisdom that I have. And our defense, we bought a lot of really good defensive guys. Larry Ogunjobi, he's an anime guy, so that automatically makes him a great defensive lineman, like myself. And so we're going to have a lot of fun together. Reader's healthy. Bought some new edge guys in, and the DBs, they got some salt in their blood, man. And those young linebackers are going to be flying around too. So I'm really looking forward to what we got going on here. It's a very fun locker room right now, and camp's going to be extremely competitive. I expect a few fights. That's going to be good, because you need to fight with your brother, because that means you're going to beat up the people you don't like. Like, really beat them up, right?
Yeah. And speaking of that, you've got Nate Burleson and Kyle Brandt putting you on the hot seat, asking you all sorts of questions. Did they forget how big your biceps are?
There's no hot seat with me. There's no hot seat. Oh, the camera doesn't show it. I'm sorry.
Did y'all forget about
Oh, check him out. Check him out. Yeah. Listen. I think Kyle's catching up to me. He's been doing a lot of, I've been seeing Kyle on Instagram. His arms are getting huge. Like, Tom, watch out. The guy might try to throw you, right? He doesn't really mess with Pete. We know that. He know Peter probably beat him up. But I'm not going to go there. Kyle's huge. He looks like he should be playing. He's talking about me. He needs to look at himself in the mirror. The guy's really large. He's my inspiration. He's my spirit animal. Kyle is my spirit animal. I'm about to go do some bicep curls.
Love you,
Mike. We're done.
Well, the point of me saying that, Mike, is I don't want to ask you these hard, crazy questions. I want to talk about your Dance Dance Revolution skills. We all saw this video this morning on your Instagram. It's very impressive. You are talents on talent. I'm going to assume this is you telling your coach you're working on your footwork. How long did it take you to get this good? And is this something that Taylor should put in the locker room? Let's be honest. Footwork training?
So I think every NFL and college team needs to invest in a Dance Dance Revolution machine. Back when I was a running back about, 100 pounds ago, I was about 14 in high school, and I was playing Dance Dance Revolution. Well, I was a lot lighter. It feels a lot different now, I'd say, at 32 years old and 310 pounds versus being 14 and $155. But I still showed that I still got it. Showed that my footwork is great. You get a guy that has had 2 foot injuries who's getting old. Well, you need to show them that I challenge anybody in the league to get on that machine show how their footwork goes. Because my footwork goes. My footwork goes, not to show the world my footwork goes.
Ooh. Mike, I've known you a long time. I know what you're capable of physically, but I also watch your Instagram, and there was one particular, I don't know if to call this a stretch or a lift or what exactly it is. If we can roll the video, what exactly is happening here? Watch when he goes across. This is like I don't know what to describe it, a sumo wrestling type of move. Your butt's about 3 inches off the ground. You're turning, there's a lot of core work there. Tell me what this is.
That's once again showing that I'm getting younger by the day, okay? Definitely that's hip flexibility, that's core stabilization. I work with my yoga instructor, Ryan Cunningham in Green Bay. She's awesome, she's the best. And I got this crazy idea to combine my yoga with my TBR training with my guy, Jay Caldwell. And I've gotten so much functionally stronger than I've ever been, right? That it kind of scares me. I would have not have been able to do that 5 years ago when I went to the Pro Bowl. I wouldn't have been able to do that back then. So that's how good I'm feeling. That's how strong I'm feeling in my movements in those tough, difficult positions that defensive tackles get into.
I think he's just putting the gauntlet down for you, Kyle.
Let's see you do it.
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I will be injured.
No.
There's difference between being strong and being an athlete.
Look, he turned the chair to show off that bicep.
Kyle,
man.
look, Kyle, look.
Oh, my
Oh boy,
God.
oh boy, oh boy.
You gotta get a little lower. No, a little lower. A little lower.
I don't even have weights. I just split my pants. You can't go up, Kyle. You just
No,
go
you gotta
straight
get
across.
down. You gotta get down. No, farther. Just really settle into the stance.
I'm going to settle into a beer. Somebody get me one. Here we go. Oh,
Mike Daniels, we love you. We are always rooting for you. Good luck this year. Crush it. A one-year deal with Cincinnati, and then we'll see what happens. But you always have a spot here at the breakfast table. Bye, Mike.
Oh, I'm Mike.
Bye-bye. Have a great day. Kyle, don't get hurt, man. Come on.
All right.
Oh, there's his name.
I got a bulging disc.
Lower.
Lower. You gotta get all the way. All the way.
We'll be back on Good Morning Football.
All right, we are back here at Rowan University in their stadium. I'm Tom Wilkins, along with Terrence D. Fisher, and of course Howard Gaber doing the controls. The New Jersey Red Devils, an 8-0 lead at the half. We're about to start the third quarter. We're going to show you the lone points of that first half. It happened in the second quarter when Julian Peterson, as you can see standing up as quarterback Jalen Parker, the pitch out was to Peterson, and it looked like he was going to go home free until the last second he had to dive in, and he was able to on that fourth down play to give the Devils that 6-0 lead. Now, of course, the conversion that followed, and I'll let Terrence deal with that because that two-point conversion was rather creative to say the least.
Yes, and for the two-point conversion, you had him going left on a toss on the touchdown play. So now you want to have him coming back right on a toss, make the defense come up, and you just throw the ball over top. You got to put some touch on that pass, though, because you do not want to mess up a wide open pass like that. So good completion, 8-0 score. Tight game still, and GA gets the ball back.
Well, the Gladiators get the ball to start the second half, and the good news for them, they're only down a score. So if they can get a touchdown and two-point conversion, we got a level game again. So the Devils are going to go with a directional kick, and it's going to go out of bounds. So we'll see how this all plays out. Now, usually it's 25 yards from the kick. And ironically enough, the ball actually went out of bounds at the 35-yard line, so it might be even Steven there. So I believe one of the officials mark it. Yeah, the kick was, they said the 41 was where one person was standing, and then another official standing at the 35 on the opposite side of the field. So they'll figure the ball be somewhere. They're going to say the 40-yard line, actually. So I'm thinking maybe it's 20 yards from the spot of the kick, or it went out of bounds at a 40. Whatever the case, it is still 1st and 10, and the Gladiators begin the second half with the ball at their own 40. What adjustments do you think they're going to make here in this second half, Terrence?
Well, in the second half, I think they're going to buckle down on their blocking assignments first. They got to dig down deep on their blocking assignments, and then get Carter going. The quarterback. You got to get him going also.
Well, let's see what happens on this opening play of the second half. Low snap for Carr, but it's going to be a handoff. And slipping through a tackle. Look at this. Crossing into the midfield stripe. That's Acree, who finally has a burst of speed. And I think he stepped out of bounds a yard shy of a first down to 49-yard line. So that's a positive start for them.
That is a positive start for the GA Gladiators. Who else better also to get going than Messiah? You get him going, and this guy is really going to chew up some yardage and get down the field. Now he came up shy for that for the first down, but you got 1 yard to go now for the first down, and GA Gladiators good play to open the half.
And I think it's going to be a war of attrition the deeper we go towards the end of the game. 2nd and a yard from the 49. They're still going to spread it out. They're gonna go with a 3-wide slot left. I wonder if they'll go back to Acri here. And they will. And he crosses midfield for a first down. Look at that speed. And he gets all the way down to the 40-yard line. So he gets 20 yards on 2 plays and the initial first down of the game for the Gladiators here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
Now, I wasn't in the huddle during halftime. They had to be talking about blocking assignments because these guys are really blocking till the whistle blows, and they're sticking to their guy, and they're getting to the 2nd level. You have linemen about 10 yards downfield, still picking up blocks and stuff like that from a side, and that's what their discussion was at halftime.
And the precise blocking along with the speed of Acri, he was able to make those 2 plays happen. Now let's see what goes on 1st and 10 from the Devil 40-yard line. Inside handoff, but that's not going to work this time. Red Devils ready for that one. That was, it looked like Presbury had the carry. I'm sorry, it was Presbury on the stop of, I believe it was Jordan Wimberly, who was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. So I think the Red Devils were like, okay, enough of this.
Yeah, Presbury definitely had to step up and stick his nose in their business a little bit. There's enough of that stuff going on around here. Red Devils defense, they're on their heels a little bit. That was a good stop for Presbury to get in there to kind of lead his team back to a strong stance, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
I think they might mix this up here. 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. See what Carter does. Now he's going to get a handoff left side. Oh, this time Acri is going the wrong way. And talk about flying through Julian Peterson. He just exploded along the side and threw down his counterpart, number 2, Acri, for a big loss on the play. Let's take a look at the replay, Terrence. What happened on this one?
Well, on this play right here, they try to go ahead and get Messiah the ball again. And, the defense on the outside just made a play. He made a play. Messiah probably should have kept that going more to the outside. But once he gets stood up, now here comes Peterson to finish him off.
And Peterson, as soon as he saw where the hole was, he went to it, and nobody could stop him. That was why the play didn't work. Ends up being a 3-yard loss after forward progress, and 3rd and 13 for the Gladiators at the Red Devil 43. And, before the pass, and we're going to have a false start against the Gladiators. Oh, that has been haunting them all game, these penalties.
Yeah, that penalty right there, you had Messiah kind of leaning forward. Accurate. You had him leaning forward, and that step came out a little bit before the ball was snapped, or as the ball was getting snapped, and they threw the flag on that one.
So now it forces a 3rd and 18. I wouldn't be surprised they try a pass here on 3rd and long here. I mean, they tried it going down the left side the first time. Didn't quite work out, but maybe a throw to the corner on the right, and that could be one of those jump balls just like the Red Devils had in the opening drive of the game.
Yes, you have Roberts on the outside. He's more than capable of coming up with a jump ball. You got to give your guys a shot. You got to use all of your weapons.
Well, they're going to go 4 receivers, triple to the right. And now they're going to throw right, and a pass is very close to being intercepted. You talk about the Red Devils telegraphing a play. The Gladiators tried to go to the well again and nearly got burned with it. Luckily for them, it's an incompletion.
Wow, you talk about...
Watch what happens here and see the containment along the left side. Look at the far side of the triple and see how quickly they get to it.
You look at the defense. The defense is up around the line of scrimmage, and they see that play coming. So they got an easy jump on that play. And as a quarterback, you got to check that down. As a quarterback, you definitely got to check that down and maybe audible to something else.
I tell you what, if he intercepts that ball, he's running to Turnersville. So 4th and 18. We'll see what the Gladiators will do here. as they'll spread it. They'll this time go 3 wide slot left. This is going to be a big play for Carter. Wouldn't be surprised if this is a pass here. Low snap. The rush coming. He's going to take a deep ball. He's got a man.
Oh,
and it's incomplete. Oh, my goodness. That was close to being caught on the deflection, but it ends up just being out of bounds. That was a great try by Carter, but what an arm. I had no idea he had that strength to go down the field that far.
Oh.
Why don't we look? I mean, look how strong his arm was.
Yeah, we got to take another look at this. Because I want to see where his feet was at in relation to the out-of-bounds line, because he did come up with the catch. Let's see. He's streaking down the sidelines. 2 defenders there, one underneath and one over top. And he was out of bounds. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Not by much.
Not by much. High school rules, I think you got to get 1 foot in, 1 toe down. He just didn't get it.
I think he might have been 1.5 foot out of bounds. That'd be my guess. But that was a great effort on the part of Carter with that throw, but just didn't quite work out. But now it's going to be up for the Gladiators to stop the Red Devils on their opening possession as everyone starts moving again along the line, and we're going to have a neutral zone infraction on the Gladiators. So that's going to force a 1st and 5. And I think that's been the Achilles heel today for the Gladiators. These 5-yard penalties, offsides, false starts, illegal shifts, they've been adding up.
I want to take maybe the GA Gladiators is trying to top what they did the last meeting between these two teams, because GA Gladiators mounted up a bunch of penalties during that game also. They might be trying to top that they might be trying to top that count.
I would hope it's unintentional, because when you're playing a championship game, the one with the fewest mistakes obviously wins. So here are the Red Devils now, 1st and 5, and they're in plus territory at the 47-yard line. This is a handoff, but being slowed up, bouncing through a couple tackles, and then diving to about the 44-yard line. That's Peterson again for a 3-yard pickup. He has been a star on both sides of the ball today, the way things have been looking.
Peterson has just been nothing more than constant. He's constantly there, and he's going to pick his way through the defense. The defense came and shut down the outside for him, and he managed to get up inside of there and bounce off a few tackles and gain a couple yards.
And he picked his way through the Gladiator offense a few plays ago, too. Let's not forget that. And here's a tight formation. This time they hand it off. That's Presbury, but the defense was to the test there. No gain on the play, and it forces a 3rd and 2. So right now the defense really has to dig in for the Gladiators.
Yeah, giving Presbury the ball on a short yardage like that is a great call. He fights for the extra yardage. It's just a matter of GA standing up and making a great stop right there.
So now 3rd and 2, ball spotted at the Gladiator 44-yard line. Let's see what the Red Devils come up with in the black uniforms. Full house again. And it's a keeper. And pushing through the line. That's going to be a 1st down all the way past the 40, maybe even the 39-yard line. So the keeper by Parker, that's a 5-yard pickup, but it looks like Parker's shaken up on that play. And looks like he is going to get up on his own power. He'll just have to sit out a play. But he is walking to the sideline. So a 1st down for the Red Devils as they try and keep their own momentum up with an 8-0 lead, looking for more.
Yeah, the Red Devils are back at it again, chewing up the clock. And, you got 5:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. And they're in GA territory. And they're doing what they want to do right now.
Well, hold on a second. We have a flag down, and it's a sideline warning. So, the coaches were on the field, so that's why the sideline warning took place. I actually thought it was going to be a 12-minute huddle penalty, but not the case here. And looks like, the Red Devils have called a timeout. So why don't we break here with 5:38 left here in the 3rd. Red Devils lead the Gladiators 8-0. We'll come back in a moment. Once again, make sure you get yourself set up for the Battle at the Beach 2 from August 26th to the 28th at Ocean City High School, right off the Parkway at Ocean City, New Jersey. Should be a lot of fun. Of course, the sponsors for that are the West Jersey Football Coaches Association. So our thanks to them taking care of this. So on 1st and 10, here is a handoff, a sweep with some room crossing the 30, and that's Peterson again inside the 25. They're going to say out of bounds at the 20, I believe the 23. That's a gain of 16 on the play, and right now the play calls by the Red Devils are just chewing up the Gladiator defense.
Yeah, well, what do you do with Parker out of the offense for a play? You go ahead and go right to Peterson. Give Peterson the ball and let him hit the outside and make something happen for your squad. I mean, you give Peterson the ball and you're going to move the ball.
All right, so the Red Devils are just huddling, and now they will look like they'll break the huddle in a moment. But right now they're trying to take whatever time off left. They want to make this a 2-score game and make it almost impossible for the Gladiators to come back. But keep in mind, I mean, these are 8th grade kids. They're going they're learning the game, and everything's situational now. On 1st and 10, here's a sweep handoff left and slipping through a tackle, crossing at 15, crossing at 10, coming home. Welcome to the end zone. That is Iben Muhammad. He catches a big ball on the first quarter, and here is a 23-yard touchdown to the left. Boy, this Red Devil team has some speed and some great blocking and elusiveness to extend their lead.
Hey, the Red Devils is just going to use up all of their weapons this evening, and giving the ball, giving Iben the ball, he hits to the left side and he keeps his feet. A tough run. Somebody's looking at this kid. Somebody's really watching this kid, and he knows it. So he's going to shine and take his moments and make the best of it.
And did he ever in that moment? He broke a couple of tackles and kept his balance. That was a tremendous play by Muhammad to extend their lead. Now the 2-point conversion back to the full house formation. Parker back in the game. No option throw this time, but getting into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, Peterson. He converts to make it 16-0, and right now the Red Devils are really looking good with 4:51 left here in the third quarter. Why don't we take a look at that play by Muhammad, who swept around the left side and extended the lead for the Red Devils. What happened on this play?
Now what's going to happen on this play is the quarterback is going to open to the right and hand off going to the left. So that's going to make the defense slide a little bit to the left a little bit. And he keeps his feet, hand down on the ground. There's drills for that. And he just keeps on moving his feet. And, you know, a tough run like that, he's going to get the ball more in this game. Believe you me, he's definitely going to get the ball more. A tough run like that gives you the right to get the ball more.
Well, he definitely proved it. That was a sensational run by Iben Muhammad to make it 16-0. By the way, we didn't meant to mention all the sponsors for contributing to today's game. Andrew Yezi, the Rowan University alumni, who is the sponsor and creator of today's championship trophy. Also, the Rho Delta Sigma chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Eric Erock Emmanuel, who's a lifelong Philadelphia Eagles season ticket holder. And Stephanie's Fitness Program, which has 40-plus years in the personal training industry, whose focus is to teach others how to live a healthy lifestyle. I wanted to make sure we got that in there, and now more of a directional kick. It's live after 10 yards, and then taken about the 29-yard line, where the returner steps out of bounds. David Queen, probably smart that he did that, because if he let that go, the Red Devils could recover it there and then get another possession.
Yeah, if that ball had stayed in bounds without him going ahead and picking it up, it definitely would have been a live ball. And Red Devils is hungry. They're coming for that ball.
Well, now the Gladiators, they have maybe a quarter and a half to try and match a pair of touchdowns and a pair of 2-point conversions to keep in this contest. But, I mean, like I said, it's in the face of adversity where we see the best in all these players. And for the Gladiators, we'll see if they can shine here. Keep in mind, Bryce Carter, he has quite an arm. There's no question about that. And he could easily throw down the field as to what we saw earlier this quarter. I wouldn't be surprised they try and utilize him more. So 1st and 10 for the 20. They're going to say the 30. They're going to hand it off first. There's Ackery, slips a tackle, gets to the 35, but we got a flag down, and that could very well come back. Because it was thrown literally 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, which usually means offensive holding, and that was exactly the case. What did you see on that one?
Well, they're going to try to get Ackery going, and they're going to try to get him going off to the right-hand side. They got to get Bryce going. They got to get their passing game going. They're focused on Masai, and they're going to be there waiting for Masai. So, GA, they have a good back in Masai, but you got to use the rest of your weapons.
And I think that's critical, too. I mean, considering Ackery has had a nice third quarter, had a couple very nice runs, and had another one set to go, except the holding penalty backed them up all the way to 21. So 1st and 19, they're going to go to handoff again, but waiting for them are a couple of Red Devils for another loss on the play. And Ackery, obviously, he now is a target by this Red Devil team. They come right at him, and there's another loss.
Yeah, I spoke to Coach Carter a few times throughout the season, and I let him know that I would like to see him mix it up a little bit more with his play calling and everything. And it is a tough job being a play caller down there. There's no question about that. But you definitely have to mix it up with your players, your player personnel.
All right, so it is 2nd and quite a ways. Ball spotted the 18, 2nd and 22, we'll say. They send a runner in motion. They change the formation up a little bit. They go slot right here. Carter. Oh, they go RPO here, and it goes to the 22-yard line for Ackery for a gain of 4. So that was an interesting play call here. You look at it looked like a shotgun, then it becomes a run-pass option right away.
Yeah, they're locked in on Messiah. They're locked in on him. And, the Red Devils defense is creeping more and more and more to the line of scrimmage. More and more to the line of scrimmage. And, you got to get some tight end passes going underneath and things like that. So they got to start working some routes here.
What about a slant or a jet sweep? You think that'd be good?
A slant would be good. A jet sweep, I'm not so sure of. They're locked in at around the line of scrimmage.
Well, they have 2 men moving. They're switching position. They're going to go with a regular spread. And just as they got into position, a timeout is called by the Gladiators. So we'll break here with 1:53 left in the third. Red Devils lead the Gladiators 16-0. We'll come back in a moment. Okay, so with 1:53 left here in the third quarter, Red Devils, it's been their game. They lead 16-0. Now, my question to you, Terrence, what plays do you think are going to work, especially now you just used a timeout. You got 3rd and very long coming up. This is where you use Carter's arm, but how do you use it?
Well, right now I believe they are doubling on the outside. They have a man that's going to be underneath and a man that's going to be over top. So if you could kind of work the seam area, if you could see the spacing on the left side around the 5-yard off the ball area.
Well, they decide to run it, and the handoff goes to about the 26-yard line. Ash Roberts trying to put some speed up there, but it ends up being a couple yards there, but it's 4th and 14. So, you're in your own territory, 4th and 14. What do you do?
You got to punt the ball. You got to punt the ball, and you got to get a good punt. Even if you have to push your punter back a little bit to alleviate the pressure, so he could get a clean, comfortable, confident punt off, you got to punt the ball. You don't want them taking over the ball here at the 27-yard line, 26-yard line. You just don't want that. So you got to punt the ball and play defense.
Well, I have a feeling they're going to be going for it. Now, with a minute left in the third, you realize you got 11 minutes left, but how many more times are you going to get the ball? So this could be one of those go-for-broke situations. They decide to switch personnel, and they had 3 receivers moving at the same time, and in the end, it's a delay of game penalty against the Gladiators. So needless to say, the communication has been something that has lacked as far as where people need it to be, and this is why we've been seeing all these penalties today, wouldn't you think?
Yes, the communication is broken right now, and see if they just went and I call it playing football. You know, if you play sound basic football and punt the ball, that leaves less problems with the communication.
All right, so that makes it 4th and 19 from the 21-yard line, but they're going to still give it a try here. Again, going for broke. They got to go with the arm of Carter, I would think, just like they did last time, and it almost worked. Carter waiting for the snap. Still waiting for the snap. Now he gets it. Goes back. Has a little bit of a rush. Now throws at the middle. And, oh, man, just went through the hands of the receiver, incomplete. I think it was, and there's also a flag down at the end of the play. So wait a second. Could we possibly have roughing the passer? If that's so, that could be a game changer. But we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah. They're going to call it after the play, offsetting unsportsmanlike, it looks like. So we'll get the official word in a moment, but the intended receiver was David Queen. Just went through his hands, but that was a good route that he moved to, but it just went through his hands, and sometimes it happens. And I don't know if it's a case of over anxiousness or what have you, but sometimes it's how it is, the way the game's been going today.
Well, the quarterback just has to get in rhythm. He has to get in rhythm. He ran a nice route, a post route, and it was a post route, and he had him going across the middle, and that would have been good enough for a first down if he had caught that. But he just threw it behind him a little bit.
Well, that's probably what it was, if he caught the ball, he would have been a couple yards short, so it would have been yards after the catch that would have had him get to the line of gain. And I mean, we finally get to see some of the fast movement by the Gladiators in their passing game. It's just the execution has been lacking on a lot of things, and it sure doesn't help when you've had a ton of penalties in this game that have really set you backward. And that's why the Red Devils are where they are right now. And here we go again. This time, this might be on the Red Devils because the left side of the line very frustrated with moving, and usually when you have that, it's probably a false start. And you can see the Red Devils moving backwards, so it's going to be 1st and 15. Actually, nope, it's the other way around. It went to the Gladiators for a neutral zone infraction. But the left side of the line's like, oh, man, I did what? Boy, you talking about masquerading there for a penalty. There you go.
Oh, man, he was really upset with himself. Like, I can't believe it. This was our home run play, too. We sent in here, and I jumped off. You know, but it went against the GA Gladiators, you know, so he got off the hook a little bit.
More than a little bit. 1st and 5 into the red zone at the 16-yard line. Well, let's see what they do. Parker under center. They go at a handoff and trying to bust up the middle. Gets to maybe the 14. Presbury with the carry as the clock winds down to three-quarter time. So, right now, the Red Devils, they're in great position now with 10 minutes of football left. After 3, Red Devils lead the Gladiators 16-0. I guess we can take a little breather, and we'll come back with a final quarter right after this. Well, speaking of Landmark Americana Tap and Grill, which is, of course, a touchdown sponsor for Gridiron XS, we forgot to mention that with the Red Devils score in the third quarter. If you're hungry after the game, that'd be the perfect place to go. But if you do that, bring your dancing shoes because Landmark Americana turns into a nightclub with a live DJ and $3 you call it drink specials. And they have other specials throughout the week, too. Mexican Mondays, margarita and Mexican beers are $2. Avion shots are $5. I couldn't quite read that very well. But they're also half-price quesadillas and nachos. Then you got Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Pong Wednesdays. So you got a lot of great things. And prizes are given out to the winners of that. Of course, when I play beer pong, it's through my phone, but I let the rest of my family do that. But anyway, but how good are you, Terrence, at that one? At beer pong.
I don't play beer pong.
And I rarely drink, too, you know.
I gave that up a long time ago.
Well, anyway, so 2nd and 4 from the 14-yard line here. So there's going to be a handoff. That's Peterson again. And this time the Gladiator defense contains, holding him probably to no gain. So forces a 3rd and 5. And now the Gladiators, keep in mind, you have 1 quarter left, and you only have 2 timeouts left. In fact, each team has 2 timeouts going into the final quarter here. So this is going to be a very important defensive stop. And then don't be surprised if the Gladiators go up tempo, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, they're still able to get out there and wrap up Peterson and try to slow the Red Devils' offense down a little bit, because they're right inside the 15-yard line, and they could go in.
Well, we'll see. I mean, after all, Muhammad took it 23 yards. Let's see what happens here. Oh, they go inside. Looked like it was a keeper, and the line continues to shove like it were a rugby scrum, and I believe they're going to be a yard short of a first down to the 11-yard line. So for Parker, he gets 3, and now here's your play. 4th and a yard from the 11-yard line. You're still alive if the Gladiators stop it. If not, then the Red Devils can run some more clock off.
Well, 4th and a yard, I'm going with the quick hitter. Either the quarterback sneak or the first man through the line of scrimmage. Give them the ball and let them push forward for the few inches for the first down.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Red Devils call timeout to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this play. But we'll see. 8:25 and counting, so they go full house, 4th and a yard. Will they do a quick snap? No, they won't. And they go quarterback sneak. Oh, did he fumble the football? And if he did, then the quarterback's going to be the one that recovers it. So regardless of what happens, it's probably going to be Gladiator ball, and it is.
And
that was recovered by John Jeter, also known as Big Baby. And he's like, mine, I'll take that.
Big Baby, oh baby, comes up with the fumble recovery in the clutch. Hey, it's 4th quarter. You got to make big plays. If they're going to turn the ball over, give you opportunities, you got to jump on it. And Big Baby jumped right on it.
He definitely did. Now, you have to remember, if the quarterback recovered his own fumble, that's the only way he could advance the ball on 4th down. If somebody else did, it's at the spot of the fumble, and he would have been short anyway. So that's a big break for the Academy Gladiators, who need to come through with a huge drive. They have a long way to go. They got 89 yards, and they got to do it again in 8:07 time. And they're going to they have to do it twice, and they have to get both 2-point conversions in order to even the score here. So here's Carter in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to go with a shuffle pass. And it takes him to about the 18-yard line. But now you know it's going to be fast forward up tempo. What'd you think?
Yeah, you're expecting that, but the quarterback is still coming to the sideline for the play. And that was a quick gesture of a play call in. And he turned right back around and went back to the huddle. But, you got to pick it up. You got to start calling 2 plays at a time, to get this ball moving. 2, maybe 3 plays at a time. But how much can these young kids handle in a situation like this is another thing for retainment. Oh, well, these kids are built for it. They understand the game of football, so they are built for 2 plays at a time if need be. Well, they're going to go with another handoff, and
getting to about the 20-yard line. They're going to be about a yard short of a first down. So I don't think this is working. Why do you think it's not working, Terrence?
Yeah, it's this pace right here is not going to work, especially just handing the ball to Masai. He is a home run hitter. Don't get me wrong, he is a home run hitter, but for the consistency of this game, it's not going to work. You're going to have to open up a little bit and pick up the tempo.
And now you have third and about a yard and a half. Carter in the shotgun, tripling the left side of the bunch. Let's see what he does here. He's going to go to swing pass. It is caught. Nice cut move. That's going to be a first down. Now the question is, did he get out of bounds to stop the clock? No, he did not. They said keep running it. The only good news here is the Gladiators get first down, move the chains, but they got to hurry up here. Clock is ticking, 6.5 till time.
They definitely have to hurry up. I mean, the sense of urgency is just not there for the coach. And once again, they gave the ball to Messiah again. They gotta use some other options.
And I think if you throw down the field, that might be the easiest option right now. But at the same time, I'm sure the Red Devils know. I mean, they can go cover too deep if they want to. And that's what they're showing right now, as a matter of fact, and try and prevent this from happening. So, again, Carter in the shotgun, 1st and 10, ball to 25-yard line, back to the right. He'll take, this is a pass this time, and a throw to the left. Good catch. This goes 28, not as much. It is caught. Oh, Carter was the one who caught the football. I beg your pardon. No, I'm sorry. It was Eric Smith who made the catch there, and gets about 3 on the play. But you're going to need to throw down the field a little bit more, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, you need to go ahead and throw down the field. Even if you incomplete the pass, you have guys backing up, playing a little bit deeper, knowing that you are looking to go that deep. These short passes, they're good, but you got to have some guys that could break some tackles and stuff. And the Red Devils are making sure tackles on the outside.
Well, if you look at how the penalties have been in this game, the Red Devils have had a couple, but the Gladiators had a bunch. And those miscues, especially in a high-level game like that, could turn out to be the difference. And you got to consider that's a big role in what we're seeing right now. All right, Carter in the shotgun, 2nd and 7 from the 28-yard line. Low snap, but he gets it. He's going to take a shot down the field. Double coverage. A little bit off, incomplete. They went for Ash Roberts, and he couldn't quite get to it. And, of course, Ash was thinking there was contact, but it looked pretty incidental to me.
Yeah, that was some incidental contact, but that's what you want. You got to take a shot down the field. And just to back these defenders off a little bit and give them a sense that you will go that deep. Because if you keep throwing out, they're going to still creep up around the line of scrimmage. And you got to get this ball downfield. You got to get it in the end zone 2 times.
And get 2 2-point conversions to level things up. Otherwise, it's a 2-score game still.
Exactly.
So 4:44 till time here. It's 3rd and 7 from the 28. Carter in the shotgun again. They triple the left side, 4 receivers set, and back to the left. Carter gets a good snap. They're coming. Another throw to the right, double coverage, and a beautiful catch. This time Roberts came down with it at the Devil 35-yard line. 37 yards. He needed it and got it.
Oh, baby.
That is a chunk play if I've ever seen one.
Roberts comes up with the big catch coming down the right sideline. He gets tied up at the 35-yard line. Hey, this is your guy. This is your guy, Roberts. You should be targeting right now. And then you still want to sprinkle in some of your other receivers also. But Roberts is your big game guy.
They'll do the same formation on 1st and 10. Gladiators at the Devil 35-yard line. Carter in the shotgun will take it. Left side rush. They throw, and this time it is an easy one to Acri, but not very much. May have gone a yard if he was lucky. But if anything, he stops the clock going out of bounds at 4:14 left.
Yeah, they should be changing up some personnel, maybe putting Acri in the slot. Maybe spread them out wide to the right or wide to the left, and put another runner in the backfield. Give some different looks,
Well, they're going to go with a spread look here. They bunch the receivers to the right a little bit. Back to the left, 2nd and 10 from the 35. Carter back, has a lot of time, and they'll zing one, and it's just incomplete. That could have been intercepted because they went to Elijah Deanley down the field, and it was nearly picked off by Muhammad, like 5 yards behind him.
Yeah, Carter, he's getting time to throw the ball, and the routes are good. But right now, the Red Devils are sitting back. They're sitting back and look like maybe a cover 4 or something like that. Presbury, which was once up around the line of scrimmage, he's about 8 to 10 yards off of the ball. And they're just sitting back right now. So it's going to be tough, but it could be done.
You never know. Strange things happen in this game. 3rd and 10 for the 35. Card in a shotgun. He'll take it. Again, rush left. Throws left. He's got a man and just out of the reach, incomplete. That was in the direction of Elijah Deanley and was a little bit off. And now you got 4th and 10 from the 35. You just gained some momentum. Now you need to convert this in order to keep it and try and get some points on the board.
4th and 10. I mean, it's a big situation right here, but you gotta relax. You gotta relax your quarterback. Receivers do have a step on their defenders right now, but the quarterback just has to get it there.
Is this more of a prevent that the Devils are playing?
This is more so like a prevent defense, but not so much. They're more so looking like they're maybe in a cover 4 or cover 3 right now.
Well, let's see what happens. 4 receivers set. Wait a second. Timeout called by the Gladiators, and that's a risky one. But they want to make sure to get this down. So we'll break with 4:05 left till time. Red Devils lead the Gladiators 16-0. We'll be back in just a moment.
Mark Tribble. I'm out here on the football field on Friday night in South Jersey. There's only one place I like to be at more, the South Jersey Football Frenzy Show, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Facebook.com/AC Glory Days.
All right, folks, 4:05 left till time. Here's what we got. The Red Devils leading the Gladiators 16-0, and the Gladiators right now at the Red Devil 35 with pretty much the play of the game coming. It's 4th and 10. I mean, they've had some great momentum. Ash Roberts caught a 37-yard pass on this drive to keep it going, but since then, no gain on a completion and 2 incompletions. You got 4th and 10, and they just used one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the Gladiators, so let's see how they line up. They're going to do it again, tripling to left in the 4 receiver set. Back to the left for quarterback Bryce Carter, one of the captains for the team. Takes the snap, has time, looking. He's going to fire it, and he threw it into like a sea of black. It's incomplete. It was underthrown. I think the quarterback was backpedaling as he tried to throw the football.
Wow.
So why don't we take a look at the replay here, because the pass looked a little bit unusual based upon where the quarterback's position was, because usually when you backpedal like that and you loft something up in the air, it can easily be intercepted. Describe for me that 4th down play.
Okay, they got Roberts at the bottom of your screen, and he's looking at him all the way. And everyone knows it. And so all the defenders are in that area, but he couldn't get much on that throw. If he had thrown the ball more up and out there, Roberts may have got a step on those guys, got behind them.
I've never seen a quarterback throw into quintuple coverage and get a completion. But that would have been a very difficult play. But for the Red Devils, it's 1st and 10 as they take over on downs, and we're going to have a false start on the Red Devils at the right side of the line, ends up moving. So we're under 4 minutes left, and keep in mind the Gladiators have 1 timeout left, the Red Devils have 2. So this is probably where you go into your 3-minute, 58-second offense.
Yeah, they're going to stay tight. They're going to stay tight and, work their 3 running backs, in that full house formation. All 3 of those guys can carry the ball and protect the ball. So there's no problem turning left and right, handing these guys the ball.
And I would think you're going to probably see a lot of Julian Peterson here too. He's been a star on both sides of the ball today, in my opinion, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets that or if Muhammad actually gets one more touch. But here we go again. Now another false start on the Red Devils, so back to back, and all of a sudden you got 1st and 20. You're up by 16 points. This is not the time where you want to lose your mental sharpness.
This is not the time when you want to lose your focus. You are dangerously in your own territory. And, you know, plays like that, penalties back-to-back could really lose focus for you. And, you know, you could mishandle the ball on the next snap, on the next play.
And if that happens, suddenly the Gladiators are right back in this game. Weirder things have happened, so you cannot take anything for granted, especially in this game. So let's try it again. 1st and 20 from the 25. This time a clean snap, and this time it's Peterson. But he's only going to get a yard out of this one down to the 26. And I really think now the defense is trying to play ball strip. Is that the assessment here?
Yeah, they're definitely going to be trying to rip that ball out of there. They need the ball back desperately. And they're playing closer to the line, so they got to make short tackles. The first guy is going to have to get there and hold him up and wrap him up. And the next few guys that get there is going to have to be going for the ball.
All right, so 2nd, and they're going to say he only got back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 20 from the 25-yard line. At this point, the Red Devils aren't going to care because they're running the clock down, and now it's stopped at 3:19 for an official timeout. So I don't know if they're going to be making dinner plans at Landmark Americana or not, but we'll see. So I would say so. And, of course, the replay sponsor today has been Mike Daniels, who we certainly thank. This is a man who is a pillar for the active players currently in the NFL from the South Jersey region, and his impact transcends more than just being an NFL player, but being an active participant in our community initiatives. South Jersey is proud and grateful to say that Mike is South Jersey's own. So our thanks to Mike Daniels. Of course, you saw that feature at halftime, courtesy of the Monday Morning Quarterback Show. So at this point, you had 3:19 left, and I think, I don't know if they called timeout or not, but let's see how things play out here on 2nd and 20. The line of gain is the 45-yard line. The yard mark had to be reset, 26-yard line. All right, here's a handoff on the left side, sneaking to a tackle to the 30-yard line. That's Brian De La Cruz, who got hit with a wave of tackles and picks up 4, but more importantly, keeps the clock moving, nearing 3 minutes still time.
Brian De La Cruz gets the ball, and he heads off the left-hand side of the line. And once the hits start to get ready to come, he covers the ball up and protects the ball while still managing to try to get more yards. But the protection of the ball is key at this point because they're really ripping for it.
3rd and 15 from the 30-yard line. Again, the Gladiators only have one timeout left. They took a gamble using one of those 2 remaining timeouts in a 4th down play that didn't quite work. And now it's kind of do or die time for the defense. Because if somehow the Red Devils get this 1st down, you could say it's almost game over at this point. Let's see what they do. Full house this time. Pitch out right. Peterson crossing the 30. Look out to the 40. And still going. He's about 2 yards shy of a 1st down at the 43-yard line. A 13-yard pickup. But he stays in bounds. He's got 4th and 2 coming up as we've crossed the 2-minute mark. And obviously in this league there is no 2-minute warning.
4 minutes.
So, they have a 4-minute warning. You know, and I missed it both times. So you learn for every league there's like different nuances. But anyway.
Yeah, you give the ball to Peterson, and this guy has an engine that doesn't stop. He has a battery that keeps on going, and give him the ball, and he's going to keep those legs moving and pick up the necessary yardage needed to keep the ball moving forward.
Well, right now for the Red Devils, they only need 3 yards to get to the line of gain and put this to rest. I mean, they have played a sensational game, and I don't know if the opening game between these two teams was a factor from a revenge standpoint. Timeout's going to be called by the Red Devils. We're going to keep it here. But, Terrence, what you've seen here in this game, I mean, the difference between this game and the earlier game between these two, what are your thoughts?
Well, this is this game. They're pretty much similar. Low-scoring game. There was 3 scores in the first game. It's 2 scores in this game. But it was wet. It was wet that evening when they played that evening. And, you just had to make your big plays. You had to get your shots in, and the Red Devils are getting their shots in. They're taking advantage of the penalties. They're taking advantage of the bad punting situations for the GA Gladiators. They've taken advantage of that, and that's what has them up 16-0 with 1:09 to go in the game.
Well, I will say this, and I had no idea the first game was played in inclement weather, but, I mean, this was perfect conditions, and this was going to be a fight to the finish, and I really thought with these two teams it was going to come down to one play, but I think that the play that got everything going was Ivan Muhammad's catch on 4th and 20. That got the Red Devils going, and even though they didn't score in the opening drive, field position-wise, they were able to capitalize later and get that touchdown and 2-point conversion. Of course. So now here is 4th and 3, and this could clinch it for the Red Devils in the full house. Not so fast. We can make it 4th and 8. Somebody moved on the right side, and that forces another false start. We've seen a lot of those. Now, in this league, Terrence, does this happen a lot where kids are just a little too antsy, or is it just the nerves that have gone out through the entire game?
Yeah, well, it happens a lot. It happens a lot, especially, you have the GA Gladiators, and they always seem to get in their way or whatever, but the kids are just excited. Like the Red Devils, they have the championship trophy waiting for them on the sideline, so these guys are excited, so it happens.
Well, they will probably be the ones standing on the 50-yard line where that championship trophy was for most of pregame, and they will be back to, I guess, say, okay, we will be glad to accept this. So 4th and 8 from the 37. They'll pitch it out. And that is Muhammad. There is a flag down, and Muhammad pulled by his jersey at the 41. It's going to be a hold against the Red Devils. I'm surprised there wasn't a uniform violation for that tackle, but I don't know if they have it in this league. So it's still going to be a 10-yard penalty unless the Gladiators refuse it. I mean, on 4th down, you would have to. And they're actually taking the penalty. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And now the coach is like, wait a second, it would be our ball. So they're like, that didn't make any sense. Take a penalty on 4th when you are sure of the first down anyway. So they'll fix it up, refuse the penalty, and I think the Gladiators will start from the 42 of the Red Devils. Now, on both sides for each team, who would be your valuable players?
For the Red Devils, I'm going with Peterson.
That I agree with, definitely.
I'm going with Peterson. He's been the guy that's been making the plays throughout the entire game. And for the GA Gladiators, I would have to go with number 45. For the GA Gladiators.
Jamal Wynn, who we haven't called much today.
Mm-hmm.
So another timeout called by the Red Devils. Now, why would you say Jamal Wynn in this case?
Jamal Wynn, he's been there. He's made a few key stops throughout the course of the game. Plus the one big stop he's made when the Red Devils was deep down in their territory, and he stopped the quarterback on a sack for a deep loss. So he's made some real big plays defensively.
I do agree with you. I would give it to Masiah Akri. I mean, even though he has a lot of speed, I would say I would give it to him because he tried to keep his team in the game with some of his shifty running. So from an offensive side, I would have to say agree for that reason. But I do agree with you with the Red Devils. Julian Peterson on both sides of the football. He had a fantastic game, no question about it. All right, so here are the Gladiators at the 41. 1st and 10 on a low snap. He's going to throw to the left and a little too high, incomplete. Again, that was Carter sending it over to Deanley, but a little bit too high and incomplete. Now, do you feel that the pressure the Red Devils have kind of altered Carter's game today?
Well, I feel like he's had a decent amount of time to throw the ball. The pressure is not right in his face. He has to learn to move his feet and step up in the pocket or maybe flow outside of the pocket to give himself a little more time to throw the ball, or maybe they have to shorten up the routes also so he can hit his guys in stride in front of the defenders.
All right, so 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line of the Red Devils. Carter in the shotgun. They spread the formation this time. Takes the snap. Now a late rush comes, and it's going to be a running play this time. And Carter will get to the 35. And I guess he stays in bounds as the clock continues to run. The Gladiators have one timeout left if they want to use it. But it may also be a moot point at this juncture here. So I'll tell you what. You got to give credit to the Red Devil defense. They have done a magnificent job. They've closed the lanes up. And it's going to be a happy bunch of kids. I mean, for both sides. They put in so much work to get to this point. Unfortunately, only one team can win. But you got to congratulate all the kids. Here's a throw in the middle. Pass caught to 27. That's going to be a first down with 14 seconds left. That'll stop the clock to move the chains real quick. So maybe one more play for them.
Yeah, maybe one more play. Maybe they could get a shot at the end zone. I would take a shot at the end zone. But it's pretty much all said and done here. The Red Devils, at the beginning of the season, they vowed that there was a new sheriff in town.
All right, here's a shot for the end zone into triple coverage. And I believe it's intercepted. No, incomplete. It was right in the back of the end zone, but it went through.
The Red Devils at the beginning of the season, they vowed that there was a new sheriff in town, and it was called the New Jersey Red Devils. And, they wanted to be at the top at the very beginning. This is a new organization here in the GA League. This is the second year of the GA League. They wasn't here last year. They're here this year, okay? And they vowed that they would be there in the end. And they would scream at me, oh, we're at the top, we're at the top, we're at the top. I said, well, to be the man, you got to beat the man. So they beat Asbury Park, which was the defending champion from last year, and now they beat the GA Gladiators. So they're the new sheriff in town.
Think about this from a basketball perspective. Look at the Boston Celtics. They beat the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks, and now they win Game 1 surprisingly over Golden State, and they could be the better team, and they could take home their, I believe, their 18th championship. But we'll see.
Yes, we will see, and that's always the case. To be the man, you got to beat the man, and the Red Devils, they've stuck to their game plan. They played hard-nosed defense, played hard-nosed down your throat offense, and they're here.
There's a deep throw for the end zone, and it is knocked away incomplete, and there you have it. The Sheriff gets promoted. The New Jersey Red Devils reign supreme, the champions of the Gridiron Access League, with a 16-0 win over the Academy Gladiators here at Rowan University tonight. Your final thoughts, Terrence, to what I thought was a very entertaining game.
Hey, shout out to the NJ Red Devils. They came into this league knowing that it was a grueling schedule that they had to play each and every week, knowing that they had to put their best foot forward each and every single week. And to get here to this date, they have proven that they have set out what they said they wanted to do, and that was to win the championship. Shout out to the NJ Red Devils, the coaches, and everybody, all the players, and they're champions.
And for head coach Rick Eli, he's got to be thrilled with how his kids performed today. And this really was a very good game. And like I said, it's sad. Of course, you have two very good teams, and unfortunately, only one can come out on top. And today, the Red Devils get their revenge on the Gladiators compared to earlier in the year. So coming up with a 16-0 win. I mean, they planned it well, and they executed a whole lot better. And many times in football, that's usually what decides games.
Yes, that's usually what decides games. You're playing, your game planning, and the talk after the first game between these two was that it was hard to beat Rick Eli twice. Rick Eli is a very well-known coach around South Jersey youth leagues, and it's hard to beat him twice in one season. And it showed improved here today. He came back for what was his.
Now, needless to say, the Red Devils elated with their performance, of course. And you also got to hand it to the coaching staff for the calls they made. Julian Peterson, second quarter, touchdown run. Then he had a 2-point conversion pass to Jaden Green, which was the 8 points in the first half. And then the second half, that was Ibn Muhammad on that jet sweep the other way, 23 yards. And then the 2-point conversion there made that 16-0, and that was all she wrote. And like I said, the Red Devils, they played a lot more disciplined, and that was the reason why they won this game today.
Yes, the Red Devils controlled the clock the whole entire game, and that's what you want to look at. When you start to look at stats and everything at the end of the game, you look at the amount of time of possession for that game, for that particular team, and they're normally the team that comes out with the victory.
And I definitely agree with you. And you mentioned the time of possession. It all started at the very beginning. It was almost like Super Bowl 42 revisited. Giants had the ball 10 minutes into the game, first 10 minutes of the game. Here, the Red Devils had the ball all first quarter and one play into the second quarter. That's where they established the field position, and then they went to work and executed brilliantly tonight.
Yes, and
right now at the midfield stripe, you'll see the trophy presentation, which will be given to Rick Eli and the New Jersey Red Devils, champions of the 2022 Gridiron Access League. And we want to thank our sponsors one more time, if we can go down. The West Jersey football coaches, of course, they're the ones that are sponsoring the Battle at the Beach 2 in late August in Ocean City. Also, Golden Jean Apparel, the official apparel of Gridiron Access. Mark Tribal's Hats Off podcast, which you can find Mark Tribal, M Tribal on Twitter. You can download his podcasts on Apple otherwise. And also Mike Daniels, the replay sponsor. And lastly, Landmark Americana Tap and Grill in Glassboro. So our many thanks to the sponsors, and of course our thanks to Gridiron Access, who allowed us here at HSG Network to focus the game. And do we miss a couple people? Oh, Danny Curtis, we have to thank. Marcus Brown, James Mouton. We got to thank those guys as well for making this. The trophy is being raised by the New Jersey Red Devils as they finish out a very stellar 2022 season for Gridiron Access. They deserved it, so hats off to them. They did a fantastic job today. But for the Gladiators, they also did well, too. They got this far, but sometimes the better team wins, and the Red Devils made fewer mistakes. That's why they're the champions. So we call it here from Rowan University here in South Jersey and Glassboro. Your final score, the New Jersey Red Devils 16, the Academy Gladiators nothing. For Howard Gaber and Terrence D. Fisher, I'm Tom Wilkins. Thanks for joining us here on HSG Network for the Gridiron Access.